One of the central debates within economics, particularly when it comes to the implementation of capitalism and the relationship between the free market and government control, has always been the debate between Keynesianism and laissez-faire. Now, what these two economic and political principles are based in is, to what extent should government be involved in the stimulation of the economy? So let's start off with the Keynesians. What Keynesians believe, and their ideology was first proposed by a man named John Maynard Keynes in the early 1900s, is essentially that increased government intervention within a free market economy actually stimulates the overall economy. What Keynes argued is that the more the government invests in the consumer class by providing a strong social safety net, so for example, guaranteeing lower level as well as in some cases upper level education, guaranteeing healthcare costs, guaranteeing security through the police force, guaranteeing a fire department and search and rescue through basic security departments, as well as through social security, as well as through infrastructure investments and federal employment opportunities and other public service investments. He argued that what that does is that basically allows for the working class individual or the consumer to now have much greater income that they can use to invest in the free market. What Keynes basically alluded to is that since many of these basic services have been covered or invested in by the government, the consumer now has a greater ability to purchase products from, let's say, a small business or even from any business of any kind, or to invest in the stock market, or to purchase increased services and go dine at a restaurant, and other examples of general economic investment on behalf of the consumer. What this meant in the eyes of Keynes is that overall businesses would profit, the value of stocks in the economy would increase, and overall general economic growth would be facilitated. Now, what Keynes believed is that if necessary, deficit spending or going over budget should actually be prioritized over trying to balance the budget or make sure that the amount of public investment is balanced with the amount of money within the public budget. He argued that that paradigm should not be followed, and that if going over budget was necessary to cover the basic social safety net that he thought would allow for workers to have more money to invest in the economy, it was worth it. It was worth it to go over budget. Now, what laissez-faire economists believed was a bit of the opposite. They basically believed that economic growth is facilitated through limited government involvement, through allowing the free market to be unrestrained or nearly unrestrained by government intervention, and allow for businesses, employers, and the wealthy to expand their capital, and over time, the expansion of their capital would result in the expansion of the capital of the consumer and working class. What they believed is by providing tax cuts, tax credits, and lowering the investment of the public sector, basically limiting the power of the federal government and its control over the free market, basically what will happen is that the businesses will ultimately have more money which they can use to, let's say, pay their workers higher wages, employ more people in their businesses, invest in the stock market, expand the number of businesses, and therefore expand the number of stores and facilities in which the consumer class can buy their products, lower the cost of their products, and basically many more examples of how the free market could basically expand its own capital through limited government control.